Morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. It is September 27th. 27th. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the channel. Yesterday, we talked about the poor structure with this gap up, right? Well, that was taken away all the way back to ultimate balance, right? We didn't breach ultimate balance. That happened to be support. This is particularly in the ES, okay? So that came out. Um, so that's a big thing. Elfie came into play. Elephant on the toothpick, right here. Here's our Elfie. Came into play. So, but didn't get the big move, but took back that gap up. Right, and then there was some news out yesterday. Super microcomputers are getting a probe. They're down pretty big. I gotta see how. I think they were down 14% or something like that. I gotta look into that again. But that is one of Nvidia's largest customers. Okay, so that's what's going on today. We have big news. We'll look at it live together. 8:30 a.m. we have core PCE, and then at 10 a.m. we have Michigan consumer sentiment with expectations of inflation and sentiment. All right, and a couple other things, but that's really what people look at. So we'll get into that. All right, so without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name is Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets along gamma exposure level, supply and demand, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, and the previous day. All help me find structure in the markets. That's my edge. That's the way I look at the market. Okay. And hopefully, every day, you guys can come join me. All right. Have a cup of coffee, have tea. I do this every day at 8:10 a.m. I'll give you a recap of what happened yesterday. We'll talk about what's moving markets today, this morning, the news, the calendar, maybe some downgrades, maybe some upgrades, leaders and laggards. Right? We'll go over daily charts, and then the main event at 8:30 a.m. is when I analyze the Nasdaq and the ES futures. Right? That's where I come up with the long and short trade scenarios for the day. Okay, and then of course when the market opens up, that's whole new data, right? That we don't know yet. We don't know that data yet. So hopefully, hopefully, you guys can check out my YouTube shorts of those day trades where I only put up the ones that I feel have educational value, right? And I show you the confluence and the criteria I use to take the trade. Okay, you can check out my YouTube shorts, right? But you could also check me out on X at Gonzo719. All right. Now, like I said, those trading videos are on YouTube Shorts and my Gonzo719 Trader TikTok. And of course, if you enjoy my content, smash the like button. Okay. Smash that like button. Now, I'm gaining some subscribers as of late. I'm hoping I'm getting to 200 soon. Okay. Trying to build an army here of profilers. Okay. Because it's really awesome tool to use, very powerful, once you know it, it's very easy to look at. Okay, I know it's kind of crazy to look at first, but trust me, there's a lot of golden nuggets by using profile. All right, let's get right into our futures watch list here. Boom. Okay. And let's see who's leading the pack here. We have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is up to 66K, up 1.23%. All right, followed by the VIX, up 0.59, followed by Russell, up 0.52. 30-year bonds being bought. Ether up 0.11. Crude trying to bottom out here with that Saudi saying they're going to ramp up production, which would oversupply crude, which would send crude lower, which that's why it's pulled back. Nasdaq up only 0.05. ES basically flat with Nasdaq up only 0.04. The dollar's flat. Probably waiting for core PC at 8:30. Like I said, we'll watch that live together. Now, silver is down 0.25. Gold is just been on a tear. It's only down 0.34. The 10-year yield right there down 0.37 at 3.77 yield. Okay, let's move on to the Mag 7 Plus here. Coinbase is up to 182, pretty much up 1% with Bitcoin. Tesla's up 0.87. Boeing is up 0.32, followed by Google and Apple. All right, is there laggards here this morning? Let's see here. Netflix down 0.20. Nvidia down 0.32. Now, Nvidia, like I said, is Super Microcomputers. That's one of their biggest clients is Nvidia, who buys their chips. All right, so we'll see what happens with that. Okay, we'll see what happens. That. Let's move on. Top sectors here. Who's leading the pack here? Semis is. Whoa, that just changed big time. That was interesting. They were up there. They just literally went off the map here. Chevron up 0.29. Walmart. Ooh, let's get back here. Walmart. Let's go. Walmart. I mean, none of these are skyrocketing, but Chevron, Walmart, Disney are the leaders. Goldman Sachs, Exxon, Qualcomm did just take a dip here, so I'm not gonna count that now. Who's down big here? Costco had a downgrade. Did they have earnings? I can't remember now. They had earnings. I thought they had earnings, but anyway, they are down 1%. Eli Lilly, one of the largest healthcare stocks in the healthcare ETF, is down 1%. Okay, they are down 1%. Now, let's get to the swing trade list. Let's see who's leading there. Bristol Myers Squibb just had a drug approved for schizophrenia. So they are up 4.19%. Las Vegas Sands, that's the China stocks are kind of exploding because of all the stimulus and they're trying to boost their economy. All right, MicroStrategy, that's a Bitcoin related stock. Make My Trip is up 1.67%. Riot, that's a Bitcoin related stock, up 1.54. Mara, mining stock, up 0.154. All right, PayPal's up 1.41. The Win, of course, with China, up 1.36. Bitcoin ETF up 1.06. Obviously, Bitcoin. Okay. Ford up 0.94. Baba's up 0.987. MGM again, China casinos 0.81. All right. Now go to laggards. Should see Super Microcomputers up here. They dropped like 14% yesterday. Now Dollar General, I believe, got a downgrade today. They are down 2.23%. Dell is down 1. Look, I just changed it to 1.8. Taiwan Semiconductors down 1.33. Super Microcomputers down 0.6. That stock is down. That stock was, I believe, up to like I want to say $1,500, $1,700 a share. It's down to 400. Okay, crazy. That stock was like parabolic at one point. Donald Trump down 0.57. There's not a lot of laggards, honestly, today. All right, let's go back here. Let's move on to sectors, the guts of the market. All right, who's leading? Energy. Remember, energy was the laggard yesterday. Like I said, anytime you get under $70 a barrel in oil, you got my attention. Okay, we're at 67.59 right now. So, discretionary is up 0.19. That's your Amazon, your Tesla, your Home Depot. Utilities. I mean, these are not big. They're not up big. All right, so there's not much leaders. That's why we're flat. Core PCE. Let's see what we do with that. Right. The only little lagger is semiconductors down 0.05, which is not much of a lagger. I think everybody's kind of waiting for Core PCE to kind of come out at 8:30. That's about in 11 minutes. All right. Now we can get to that now. Let's get to the economic calendar. Not sure who's with me. Not sure what part of the army is with me. I haven't seen the Rosita make an appearance in the last couple of days. That just means she's busy. But we have had K-Trader, Pancake, G-Man, Luis. As of late, I haven't seen Muhammad in here. Whoa, 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 whoa. What do we owe? The pleasure. Rosita is here. Rosita is here. All right, so let's talk about what we got on tap for today. we have core PCE. Okay, so PCE year over year, they're expecting 2.3. Previously was 2.5, so they're expecting a zero point 0.2 reduction. Okay, that's PCE, that's headline. Okay, now let's go into, I guess they're not showing the core in this one, but core headline, let's do that. Whoa, interesting. So core headline, they're expecting 2.7. Previously was 2.6. They're actually expecting it to go up. Wow, interesting. Interesting. Now, Michigan consumer sentiment. Okay, consensus 69.3. Previous 67.9. Now, there was some kind of, I forget the sentiment thing earlier this week that was not good. And then 5-year inflation expectations, expecting 3.1. Last time was 3, so expecting a move up. So very, very, very interesting. So at 10 a.m., this does move markets. If there's not an A plus setup around 9:40 or so, I'm not probably going to participate until the noise settles after 10 a.m. And what usually happens, what stinks, is this comes to a setup around 9:59, and I'm like, oh my God, I would enter right here, and then I just have to wait, which stinks, right? So that's 8:30. We got that on tap. We got that on tap. All right. So let's go over to some news. All right. So what does this say? Many Wall Street executives are worried about Trump, but wary of Harris. All right. Intel rejects ARM's approach for product division. ARMS Holdings approached Intel about potentially acquiring the company's product division, but was told that the business is not for sale. Here's the Bristol Myers Squibb wins USA FDA approval for the new type of schizophrenia drug. Costco wholesale misses quarterly revenue estimates on still muted spending. There we go. It says Musk's ex seeks Brazil comeback. Retreats on censorship feud. What do we have here? Like I said, let's see here. Dell. Now, Dell was down. Let's see why. The company said on Thursday that their global sales team employees who are able to work from the company's offices must do 5 days a week starting September 30th. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Celsius, Stevens cuts target price to 52 from 56. Costco, JP Morgan's raises target price from 945 from 925, even though they had not the best numbers. Salesforce, Wedbush raises target price from 325 from 315. All right. That is some news. Now let's see if there's anything here. No, not going to go there. All right, let's go to upgrades, downgrades. All right. Upgrades. We got Win. Downgrades. We got Dollar General. We got Ubisoft. Coverage initiated. Let's see here. Kava initiated neutral. CME Group at sector perform. Nasdaq Exchange outperform. Planet Fitness on a hold. All right, that's about it there. Let me just make sure that I didn't miss anything here. Doesn't look like I'm missing anything. Let's go with price target changes here. Let's see, target raise. Rocket Labs. Target raise $8 to 11. Let's see here. Costco target raise we talked about. Accenture, bunch of target raises. Micron Technology. All right, now we go to target lowers. Micron actually got target lower to 172 to 150. Interesting. Okay. I think that's going to wrap that up. We talked about news, the economic calendar. Remember, we got 6 minutes core PCE. Let's see if that really does something. Okay. Let's go to the daily charts before we get to the core PCE. All right, so what did we do in the good old SPY? Of course, we opened up here above last week's highs. Okay, everything's all bullish, good to go, right? Well, made a new all-time high and then dropped all the way back down, not to the previous day's lows, but we did fill a gap. Okay, closed right here, right above the previous day's highs. Okay, where are we at now? 570. Let's call it 573. We're at 573, so we are right at last week's highs. Right at last week's highs. Okay, let's look at the live look at futures. Okay, you can see this. Even the price action this week has been really weird. But look at these daily candles. It's just higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Right? But a bunch of like nothing's really sticking. Okay? And you can see that in my internals during the day. Yesterday was the first day that actually like the market cap was taking down the equal weighted, and it was like everything was kind of, not everything, but as far as internals were kind of moving down. All right? I kind of caught the move, the second move down that broke the support. I think it was 571 in the SPY that couldn't get broken and finally got broken. I finally got that move, but it was not easy just because some other sectors were pushing. I believe financials was. Okay, so that's the live look at futures. Okay, we're just coiling up still, really, and waiting for a big move. All right, let's see if anything happens today with core PCE. I don't know. All right, let's look at the Qs. So here's Qs, right? Now look at the Qs. Unbelievable. So we opened up all the way up here. You pushed up a tiny bit with the wick, okay? And then dropped all the way back down to last week's highs in the breakout level. And then you pushed up. So very, like if you lost that, that was not going to be good. Okay. Where are we at now? 490.11. 490.11. We are basically by yesterday's close. Okay. Let's look at the live look of futures. You can see we're holding last week's highs. Okay. Holding last month's highs. But that's a nasty wick. All right. That's a nasty wick. So we just have to see. And we just have to see. We have 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes to check out the core PCE drop. All right. We might as well. We could just stay here, or we can go to my futures. Let's go to my futures. I think I'm either going to do that. We'll go to the futures. Let's do the futures here. Hourly chart. There we go. And we have 40 seconds. 40 seconds. Let's see what the core does. Let's see. I'm curious if it's going to really move. Now you can see yesterday cleaned up that poor structure here. Boom. Went right back to the key level here. We'll get into that. Like I said, if it's not too wild, we can come up with game plans. But if it's real wild, then the game plan might not really come to fruition while we're on the stream. We'll just have to see. Okay. 3 seconds. There we go. There we go. News is dropping. Okay. All right. So let's look at the results here. Market's not doing too crazy. Let's see here. So look at let's look at the headline PCE. Whoa. All right. So headline expected 2.3 came in at 2.2, 0.1 below expectations. Now core came in line with expectations. It actually rose zero point 0.1 from the last reading. So right now the market seems to be liking it, but not really sure. To me, it's turning out to be a nothing burger, really. I'm going to get rid of this supply zone because that's gone. We have to see. See, you're in this consolidation here. Can you break out of it? Right? That's basically what is going on here. It doesn't look. Let's see here if we can see a demand zone now from this. Not there. Maybe there. If that keeps going. So I might draw one right here just to right here for now. Might not be valid, but I'm just going to put that on there now. Okay. So that brings us to the triple-headed monster. We'll look at that real quick. And see how that has been shaped. Okay. With this little core PCE. Okay, let's look at the 10-year yield. Let's see what that has done. All right, now the 10-year yield is down. It's down. Okay, so that means people are buying the 10-year yield. I'm sorry, the 10-year. All right, so you can see it's down. It closed up here. Now it's down. It's down 0.58. Let's see if this rolls back. Not sure. Okay, because core PCE rose 0.1. It was expected, but it did rise. All right, so that's the 10-year yield. Let's look at the dollar. The dollar now was flat. It's only down 0.06. So we're really working. We're just holding in this consolidation here. It's just balancing. It's going to do something. It's going to eventually do something, but we have to see. Look at that VIX. The VIX 15.37. So we are just kind of hanging out here. Like I said, we have an election coming up, so I don't really see us going too much lower because of that indecision. Who the hell's going to be our president, right? All right, that really wraps up the triple-headed monster. I am going to go over to the main event here because this has been a nothing burger. Okay, nothing burger. And let's go right to the market profile and volume profile. And we're right on schedule almost, even with the live news. Let's go here. All right. Now, hopefully, there's some other folks with us today. Of course, I love Rosita being here because we're going to get into talking about what happened. All right. So let's get my trusty marker out. And we're going to talk about structure here. All right. So we have a profile here that looks kind of balanced. Okay. So we got profiles here, value area here, and then you got the top. That's that gap up. Okay. So value is still down here. Ultimate balance. What did I say that was? 5777. Okay. 5777 ultimate balance. Now, remember I talked about LFE, that stick here, the weak structure, that got taken right out. You opened up, pushed all the way down. Where? Right to ultimate balance and got bought. Okay. and got bought. So this was taken right out, that poor structure. Okay, so this market has been real funky this week, right? There's been some selling, but overall, look what we're doing. We're just hanging out above this big macro level, this big bull bear line, the ultimate balance. That's still bullish. Okay, it's still bullish. So where are we now? Right here, 58.11. Okay, where is that as far as comparing to yesterday's session? Inside yesterday's session. So we have yesterday's highs, yesterday's lows, overnight high, overnight low. We're inside yesterday's session. You can't really get any worse of an area. All right, we got a very balanced session. That's even worse. I'm just talking about worse, meaning like the location. Okay, the location. All right, and what else can we talk about? Certain levels here. We do have a weak low here. Okay, confluence low. So overnight low matches right up with the value area low of yesterday. Remember, value area is 70% of the trading volume that happened yesterday. So we can break 57.89. You got little single print here. You could take that out and you can go right back to ultimate balance. Of course, if you break that, that's not good. Okay, so we have to look at that level. Bulls have to defend this. Bears want to break it. Okay, we don't. Now value area high is here and overnight high is here, so we're over that. So that's not really a weak low, or I mean a weak high. Okay, so we just have to see. We have supply up here. Okay, that was created from, remember I talked about yesterday, much trader price overnight. If we take that out, well, yeah, we did. Okay, we did. So really all about ultimate balance still. We're above it. That's macro bullish. Okay, we're above most trader price of yesterday. That's intraday bullish. So it's just bullish. And, maybe let's see if you can move the most traded price of the week up here somewhere. If you can, it's bullish. We can probably take another leg higher. All right. And this is the first week of the new contract and futures. So I did hear from this guy, Max Penna, I believe his name is. He's a pit trader. He just said this is always generally what happens the first week of the contract rollover. Unless there's a catalyst, he said usually chop in a range. And that's kind of what's coming. That's happening right now. Okay. It's kind of what's happening right now. Today's volume actually is decent. So, but we're pushing up a little bit. Like I said, we're starting to make this range now. Now, what do we have? Kind of a weakish high here. So 58.30 to 58.27. That's where the supply is. That could be a breakout level. That also could be resistance. All right. So I think we have our levels today. I think it's basically going to come down to this level and this level. All right. So let's get right into scenarios here. And we'll start with the ES. All right. And we'll start with the bull case. Okay. So price is here, right? Very balanced profile. So this move is running out of steam. Okay. So what I would like to see is a couple things here. All right. This demand looks like it's going to hold. So what do we have here? We have most traded price of yesterday right here, 58.02. When you have a demand zone here, the bottom of the demand zone is basically that weak low. Okay, so this area really, I want to be supportive. So we can come up, let's say we even do this, hit that supply, pull back, right to the most traded price demand, and to the midpoint of yesterday's session, and see if it holds. If it holds, boop, boop, boop. You got that weak high from 58.30 to 58.27 that we could take out this supply. If we come up here, boom, hold, we go up to new all-time highs. Now, what happened that was very rare yesterday was the all-time high right now is still the overnight from yesterday, 58.30. That is not secure. You don't make all-time highs in overnight sessions, okay? Usually you take that out. All right. So let's see how that plays out. Okay, now remember, we have all the way really till down here to me to really be like, ooh boy, we can go up. Okay, now again, you have demand here and you have this monster level. If the market's not that weak and we cannot establish under that big level, yes, we can also probably pump up here and balance off and try to move that most traded price of the week. That's about it. That's about it. If we hang out below there, that is not good, and we'll get into that in the bear case. Okay, let's talk about the bear. Right? Let's do that. We have our week high. Sellers need to defend 58.27 to 58.30. You got supply up here. Let's see what we do. Okay. If we come up here, boom, and we cannot break that level, and you do lower high, we're going to revisit down here the most traded price of yesterday and this demand. Now remember, there's the weak low. Buyers need to defend. Well, now this is the bear case. What if we come down here, break that? I could definitely see a flush. See the little single prints right here, right? That should not be support. If we take those out, that's a big test for the market. Now you're testing ultimate balance, 57.77. This is your bull bear line. You break that and hold under it, that is a bearish sign. Okay, so if we do this, hold, failure to go over that, find acceptance below it, you are taking a nosedive to 57.40 at least to this demand. Okay, at least. If you take that out, going all the way down to 5,700. I keep saying it, all the way to the left here, still have that weak structure. Okay, we still have Elfie, elephant on a stick, in the mix. Okay, can that toothpick hold up an elephant? Most toothpicks cannot. That's what happened here. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm licking my chops if we do hold on to this level. Okay, that is what I'm talking about for the bear. Moving on to the NASDAQ. All right, moving on to the NASDAQ. All right, let's do it. NASDAQ. Hey, here's our NASDAQ. Here's our NASDAQ. All right, now, yesterday, what did we do? We had poor structure, right? Elfie. Toothpick right here. Look at that. Look what it did. It took all that. Look at that. Opened. It touched the bottom of that gap was resistance. That big gap up here was resistance. Came through the most traded price of the overnight. Ripped down. Okay. Oh, well, there's single prints there. I gotta fill those in for you guys. Took out all of that overnight move. But then where did you come? You came right into demand and bounced. Closed right there. Okay? Market's not ready to go lower. But now what happened? We do have ultimate balance, folks. The most traded price of a month has moved up with the most traded price of the week. That level is 275. 20075. Write it down. That's your bull bear line in the NASDAQ. 20075. Very important level. All right, let's look at the profile. The profile actually has a bearish imbalance to it a little bit, right? Usually a balanced profile would look like this. Just something to note, all right? Just something to note, but again, holding above the monster ultimate balance level, okay? Got to look at it as bullish. This is yesterday's most traded price. We're holding above that. Price is right here, okay? Now, I promised you single prints, so we're going to draw them in. All right, we're going to draw them in with you here. So we got a bunch of them here. All right, so let's do this, and we're going to draw in our single prints. We got them there. And I got a preset here. Let's load them up. Single prints. Boom. And now we can just copy and paste. And we move it down accordingly. those are our single prints from yesterday. Okay, let's get everything in the mix here. Okay, so now we got our single prints in there. Always have to have that. Now, the reason why is because when I can't see my chart to the left, I know that there's single prints here. That's the reason why I write them in there. Okay, I put them in there. All right, so let's look at some levels here. What do we have here as far as levels? Well, let's see. So this is emotional selling here. So we were ripping down, right? Now we're back into the first wave of single prints. Okay, that's where price is now. Remember, this is yesterday's highs. This is yesterday's lows. Overnight highs, overnight lows. We're inside yesterday's session. Like I said, not the best area to be in when you're inside. Okay, you're not the best place to be. Okay, so again, yesterday the overnight session is not the all-time high, because this is not all-time highs. Okay, but this gap is really important above us. Any resistance in this gap is probably a bearish sign. Okay, you should rip through a gap. A strong market will fill that gap. Okay, think about that as a weakness versus strength indicator. Same with single prints. Single prints up here should not be resistant. If they are, that's bearish. If they are, that's bearish. Now I'm going to get rid of this supply zone. That does not matter anymore. It was broken. Okay, there's probably a demand zone here. We can break this out real quick. Let's look here. Yeah, probably right in here. There's a demand now. Okay, but I'm not going to draw that in right now. All right, so let's go back. Okay, let's look at some key levels. All right, we still got demand down here. Okay, now we do have our weak low. That is 202.29 and 202.36. This area right here is a weak low, a confluence low. Why? Because it's the value area low and the overnight low. Okay, remember, value area 70% of the trading volume of yesterday was right here. So you have to think longs are at this level, and overnight low is at that level. So weak hands on the overnight. That has to be defended by bulls, and the sellers want to see it broken. The bears want to see that broken. Okay, that's a level. Okay, now the other thing that I probably want to look at is the top of these single prints. All right, about 204 and change right there. If these single prints cannot be if they act as resistance, let me speak correctly. If they act as resistance, that is a bearish sign, because single prints shouldn't be resistant. It just shouldn't. They should get blown right through. Now this does not count right now, this move for single prints. It doesn't count. It has to happen during real-time trading hours. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at. And then of course you got the weakish high up here, 205.37 to about 205.12, and you got the gap above us, but you also have a supply zone right here. So now I got our kind of game plan today. I think, I'm going to be very patient today. All right, so let's go into scenarios. We'll go straight into scenarios. Overnight inventory is nothing to talk about. There's no edge there. Okay, let's go into scenarios for the Nasdaq. All right, and we are going to start with the bull case, with the bullish long scenario. All right, so we know 202.36 to 202.29. That is, actually, I'm going to say this area with yesterday's lows, bulls got to defend there. Okay, and you also have the most traded price right here of yesterday, so we'll include that. Come down there. I want to see how the market reacts. Is the market weak? I won't know this until the market opens, but if it's not weak, this is a great place to see if it comes down and it bounces up. Okay, so what could that look like? Let's really give you, let's go to the box here, bull box. All right, and let's see here, include this. So we're all the way up here though. Okay, so now there is demand probably in here. I'm going to guess it's probably in here. So that's probably another area. So what we could see, let's say we open up, pull back, clean those singles, and then you're going to want to see this overnight most traded price right here is the demand. You want to see around 203.16, 203.08. Does it hold that? Does it hold that consolidation? And then you can clean these singles, try to clean these singles, but you have a supply here. And then can you break that overnight high from yesterday, maybe go up to that naked VPOC and try to fill some of this gap? All right. Now, again, if that's lost, you still have the most traded price of yesterday. You still have the week low and this demand. So you have a lot of areas for pullbacks. Right now, like I said, these are only viable if the market is not that weak. Like, let's say if it's a quick move and the market is really not weak, but if it is, that's a different story, right? I might pause on buying these dips. All right. Now, as far as the bear case here, we have supply. Okay. We have supply here in a weakish high at 205.37 and 205.18 about. All right. We have single prints in here as well. We have single prints. All right. So what did I say before? When you talk about single prints or a gap, gaps and single prints should not be, now if we're coming from the below, they should not be resistant. They should get cut. Single prints clean. That's why you talk about single prints, cleaning single prints, and then you talk about filling gaps. So we have a gap and single prints above us in supply. So I want to see what the market does in this area. So if we come somehow and push up into this supply, okay, go into yesterday's highs, which is also yesterday's highs is still the bottom of this gap in the NASDAQ, and we try to push through, maybe we even break the overnight high, but we reject lower high, well, the move made up is very susceptible to get cleaned up, okay? And then it's off to the races because you probably are going to work yourself down to the most traded price here. All right. And if you break that, you got that week low. You break that. Remember, that's the value area low and the overnight low. You got demand. It's all about this demand. Okay. It's all about this demand. You got the yesterday's lows at 201.88. If you break that, okay, this demand is a very powerful one. It's a lot of consolidation there. So we got to talk about it, right? As if the bearish case. If you blow through this demand and hold, you got the monster level, okay, of 200.75. This is the bull bear line. Okay? We could very well bounce off of this, but we got to talk about the bear. If we cut through it and we hold, you got to find acceptance below it. If you cannot find acceptance back above this line, that is very bearish, okay? And we will fall most likely to this demand. Let's say 198.50. 198.50. Now, LFE is still in the mix to the left down here. Okay? I'm going to keep mentioning this. As long as this bull bear line's here, I have to keep mentioning the elephant on the stick because that's poor foundation below that. But it hasn't come to fruition, and I'm not saying this is not prediction. Remember, these are scenarios. Okay? These are just scenarios. Okay? Just scenarios. Now, of course, just real quick, remember, bull's got to defend here. We could do one of these, but it's harder though. The trade location, it's hard because down here, okay, what am I going to do? Short into this big demand zone? That's why I talk about I'd like it up here. That's better trade location, okay? But anything can happen. Anything can happen. All right, everybody. That's it for today. It might have been just Rosita today. My army was not here today. Or maybe they were. They just didn't talk. But I appreciate it no matter what. And like I said, this process happens if there's nobody watching, right? Of course, I like people to watch. But that is the analysis, folks. All right? That is the analysis. We are done. We have a plan, okay? This nothing burger number, this news is really nothing. It didn't do anything, okay? But today, remember, you're inside yesterday's range. Really wait for the edges to be played. That's where the moves are going to happen. All right. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'm trying to build this channel. Please subscribe if it's your first time. If you haven't done so already, that would mean a lot to me. All right. And give me a thumbs up and a like. Smash it. I'm trying to build the channel. Like I said, that would be much appreciated. You could always follow me on X. All right. That's at Gonzo719. And you can always check out my day trading videos for only educational purposes on my YouTube Shorts and Gonzo719 Trader at TikTok, on my TikTok, okay? Now, Elfie, elephant on a stick, poor foundation. Does that come into play today at all? Remember, we got to inverse Elfie to the upside with single prints. I really got to come up with something for that. But anyway, that's it for today, folks. All right, we got our plan. Remember, no trade is a trade. It's Friday. I think it's not end of the quarter yet because I think Monday is the last day in September. So, everybody have a great day and have a great weekend. All right, take it easy.